Good evening and welcome. I'm Selena Mead with the Vsb Tv 11 Evening News on this Friday, July the 4th. And our top story tonight, with the atmosphere being what it is in Parliament these days, there was no way the issue of the Premier's America's Cup tweet could be allowed to pass unremarked. Opposition leader Mark Bean brought it up when asked if the PLP supported the idea of Bermuda staging the prestigious yachting contest in 2017.
You will see that the Royal Gazette, who honestly just printed a simple story, has now issued a front-page apology to the Honorable Premier. Well, when was the last time you saw the Royal Gazette issue a front-page apology for the Progressive Labour Party and all the false allegations that they have been throwing out, not just for the last 18 months, but for the last 7, 8, 9, 10 years? And so, again, the bias of media, and media can be biased, but if you're going to be biased, at least earn it, okay? And it's time for the Royal Gazette to earn it. Premier Dunkley made a statement in his excitement through Twitter, obviously, and on the America's Cup. The Progressive Labour Party is supportive of a bid to gain the America's Cup in Bermuda. But we do put a little caveat, and we will say that we have to err on the side of caution. And the reason for that is that if you look at San Francisco, and the aftermath of their hosting of the America's Cup, from a fiscal perspective, from a monetary perspective, they lost a tremendous amount of money. And so even though obviously it would be great exposure to the country, we have to be very diligent and careful because obviously we are having challenges with government funding and financing. We have to be careful that this isn't an exercise of theater at a course that the people of this country will not be able to absorb.
Premier Michael Dunkley pointed out that the Royal Gazette had apologized for the tweeting report and that everyone had to be careful not to jump the gun.
I would be surprised if they weren't in support, but look, we see this as a tremendous opportunity for Bermuda. Minister Gibbons and his colleagues have worked very hard to get us to this point. We're excited about the opportunity, a little bit nervous that we have to wait for decisions, but we're very excited about the opportunity. I don't know if there's much more to say about the Royal Gazette because they apologized. I was shocked yesterday morning when I read in the paper that I had set out in a tweet and then I had deleted. It was absolute nonsense. So I spent yesterday going back and forth with the Royal Gazette, and they did the only appropriate thing. They retracted the statement. They apologized. I don't mind when issues like this happen. They just have to be cleared up. And the two things really bothered me. I was bothered that the Premier of the island was portrayed in that light. I don't care about Michael Dunkley or what happened. It's a Premier of Bermuda portrayed in that light. But the bigger picture was that, these are serious negotiations. We don't want to do anything to impede our progress in ability to get the event. And I thought that that could be, a slight drawback. And I'm glad the Royal Gazette did the right thing with the apology, and there's no more to be said.
Bermuda's cost of living jumped 1.2 percentage points to reach 2.1% in the month of May, the first time in over 2 years that it has gone over the magic 2% barrier. The health and personal care sector remained the largest contributor, with an annual increase measuring 5.9%, thanks to higher health insurance premiums. Both the food sector and transport and vehicles demonstrated 2.8% hikes year over year. The 24% increase in taxi fares drove the transport index, while a 2.7% rise in the fuel adjustment rate hit Belco's residential consumers. All other sectors were generally static. In other news, first tabled in Parliament in 2020, the PATI bill that would open up the files of the civil service to the public scrutiny was brought forward again today in an amended form by Premier Michael Dunkley with the aim of launching it next April.
I think the people of Bermuda need to understand that this is not an easy process to get to the start date, because all government departments have to make sure they have a system in place to be able to access the information. And so one of the reasons why I wanted to get it tabled and debated this session was simply because people can start moving towards that date of April 1st by getting all their ducks in a row. It can help by putting a lot of the information on online on various websites within the government departments and getting ready for the opportunity for people to come forward and ask for information. I was quite surprised today that the opposition made such a big deal about this government not answering questions when, quite frankly, the former government wrote the book on how to duck and weave. And so I had little time to answer some of those questions because they continue to bleat about the same things. Just because they get answers they don't want to hear. I've stated very clearly that I will be open and transparent. I made a statement on the House about that a couple of weeks ago. I bring in Patty here before. They didn't do it. And so if they want to raise concerns about the Tourism Authority or anything else, they will be covered under Patty legislation. And this government did it. Those guys asked the questions. They didn't do it. They will get their answers in time.
Shadow Finance Minister David Burt found it ironic that the Premier had brushed aside the opposition's questions about what changes had been made and whether the Tourism Authority would be open to scrutiny.
It's just very interesting that the Premier in one voice will say that we want to increase transparency, and in the next statement he'll just basically say we're not going to answer those questions, or those questions have been answered before, or they've been addressed before. But the questions have not been answered, and I think it's important to remember that here we are the people's representatives. We are representing the public, we are representing the taxpayers, and we are representing the voters, and it is not right for the Premier to refuse to answer questions or to duck questions, especially when we have a question and answer period in Parliament just for that reason.
He's got you when it comes to the length of time it's taken. It's been 4 years since your party put this forward.
Patty, I'm not going to say it's not a complex thing. It's certainly a complex thing, and it's something that requires a lot of work and energy to put into place. Because when you talk about the incredible amount of government documents that have to be made ready to be able to be accessible, it does require some time. That much being said, it has taken a while. It's a good thing that it will finally get up. Hopefully the government will make its commitment. But I think what's most important is to make sure that the information is actually accessible, and that means putting as few barriers as possible, and it means not putting up additional walls so that people can get access to the information that they are entitled to.
The Bermuda Hospitals Board today announced that it has appointed a husband and wife born in Burma and trained in the USA and the UK to fill 2 major positions at the hospital. Dr. Sain Ong, the husband, will join the BHB in October on a 3-year contract as Director of Oncology, replacing the departed Dr. Paul Cote. The wife, Dr. Tai Mint, will work as a consultant geriatrician with Chief of Geriatrics, Dr. David Harries, until his contract expires in September 2015, at which point she will become the Chief of Geriatrics. A 40-year-old pageant man appeared in magistrate's court this morning on charges of swallowing a quarter pound of marijuana to bring to Bermuda from New York. Terry Simmons arrived at LFA Wade International Airport on June the 22nd and was arrested after customs officers became suspicious that he was in possession of illicit drugs. Simmons was taken to Lamfogo Urgent Care Unit in St. David's and was given an X-ray. It was then that the Bermuda police were informed that Simmons had ingested several foreign objects, which turned out to be 16 grams of cannabis. At the time of the arrest, Simmons told police officers that he had brought the drugs back because he hadn't been able to smoke all of it while on vacation in New York. Simmons was handed a $1,000 fine for the offense. The 12th annual Biz Camp program starts on Monday, and among the volunteer helpers is budding accountant Jasmine Williams, an alumni from the Biz Camp concept. She hopes the attendees at the 2 camps in the next fortnight have as much fun as she did.
Yeah, I did the program back in 2008, so this will be my 6th year teaching and helping. So I did it, and it was actually really fun, very enthusiastic about the program. It's an excellent program for every young Bermudian 13 and up to learn about basic business concepts.
What are the myths that you have to destroy? People think it's easy.
Yeah, people come to Biz Camp and I guess they don't really know what to expect. They just think the first 3 days it's really tough because it is like a school setting and schoolwork material, but the last 2 days is really fun. Like they really get to see, like they actually see what they're actually doing, and it just shocks them, and then all of a sudden you just see their drive just soar. When we get going, we really encourage the students to participate outside of the camp, to like do research and investigation on by themselves back at home. So it's really fun.
And now, are there some people out there who actually have taken the ball and run with it?
Yeah, before my time, I believe, I'm not sure of the person's name, but the business is called Vibes Alliance, and it's an online, website.
So you get a certain amount of satisfaction out of that, don't you?
Yeah. So that's one of the people who's actually done it. There was another guy maybe like 3 years ago, and he did balloon creations for parties, and I know he's done it. So there's some people who've like taken the opportunity and run with it.
Save $2 per pound on extra-large seedless green grapes, only $3.99 per pound. Great on the grill, fresh Purdue chicken thighs, only $1.99 per pound. Wishbone salad dressings, all varieties, only $1.89 for an 8-ounce bottle. Brush on the best, Kraft barbecue sauce, 18-ounce bottle, only $1.69. Big savings of $1.71 on Libby's regular mayonnaise, 30-ounce jar, for only $4.09. All stores open until 10 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
Laugh. Learn. Love. Life on Logic TV is that much better. Logic TV bundles include Internet plus access, high-definition TV, and home phone, starting at $179 with a free install. LOL. Enjoy life on Logic TV.
Now at Big Savings Zone, there's the Kids Zone. See the latest bedroom ideas for tots to teens. There's a large selection of beds, bedding, all kind of furniture designed especially in mind for your child. And see the array of accessories for all ages. Big Savings Zone is the home of Ashley Furniture and Certa Mattresses in Bermuda. And the Kids Zone is only at Big Savings Zone, at the end of Stocks Road, St. David's.
Welcome back to Vsb TV 11, calling all fashionistas. This coming week, fashion will be hitting Bermuda by storm, as various events are held in the lead-up to the 4th Annual Evolution Fashion Show that takes place outside of City Hall on Saturday, July the 12th. VSB's Julia Smatt spoke to event organizer Dana Lee Trott about the event and what people can anticipate in the coming week.
We've been in rehearsals for the last 2 months, so it's definitely a process. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, a lot of paperwork, a lot of phone calls, a lot of walking up and down, and it's a great experience for the models, and it's also a great experience for us. We love it. It's a chance to try and improve and grow on what we've done last year, and we're really looking forward to next week.
So I know that last year one lucky model actually got a contract. Will that be similar again this year?
This year we're really excited because we've partnered up with Islands of the World Showcase as well as Queendom Inc., who are hosting Miami Fashion Cruise in November. So this year what they've offered for one lucky model as well as one designer is a position to participate in Islands of the World Showcase in November in Bahamas. So they'll be flying in next week and they'll be watching all the shows, they'll be at rehearsals, they'll be getting a keen eye on everything, and then they'll make a decision as to who gets to do that in November in Bahamas. So it's an awesome opportunity. We're really excited about the partnership.
I know last year it was like a week long of just fashion from all different aspects, the hair show, etc. Can you also, just for people that don't know, let us know what we have in store for next week as far as the hair show and things like that?
On Monday, July 7th, we have our first show for the week. It's the Hair and Beauty Show, and it'll be in the Earl Cameron Theatre at City Hall. And we have 7 local salons that'll be participating in the event, and they're all really excited. They've gotten their creative juices just flowing. The rehearsals have been going great, and it's going to be a very theatrical production. It's definitely not one to be missed. If you've seen like the Bronner Brothers shows and things like that on TV, this is something comparable to that.
Putting together an event of such magnitude can be a tough job, and one of the key people who has been helping to organize the Fashion Week Evolution and Fashion Show is Tamara Bradshaw. She spoke about what's going on by putting on the show.
I do everything from emailing all the models about rehearsal times, getting all the stores together for the Evolution Fashion Show, putting out the submissions and receiving the submissions for the designer show, as well as just coordinating everything from our tech to our props to our models to the stores. So all of those details.
So I would imagine that's pretty time consuming.
Yes, it's definitely consumed my life for the past 6 months.
People can buy tickets to the hair show at www.ptix.com, and the Evolution Fashion Show will be taking place outside of City Hall on July the 12th. Health Minister Jean Atherton issued a word of caution for summertime outdoor dining. Use care in maintaining sanitation when handling food. She tells VSB's Brian Darby of her concerns that health standards may decline as the weather warms up.
I think the basic thing is to remember that you need to keep raw meats chilled, and you need to keep anything that over time will generate bacteria. You have to keep that at a temperature such that the bacteria can't grow. And so that's very important too. When you go out, when you go to the beach, when you go to somewhere, keep it with ice or something else that's refrigerated. If you can't have refrigeration, then obviously ice packs and what I call those containers to keep it at a cool level.
Now, you must have heard from your officers that there is an existence of illness from food. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been in Parliament today making your plea.
I think what we realize is that as soon as summertime comes around, then two things happen. People then start to go out and they take their food out to the beaches, they take their food where they don't have refrigeration, and that means that you're just suddenly turning around to increase the contamination.
So would you say using the hygiene that you use in the home when you go outdoors would be a pretty sensible thing?
Very, very important that we turn around and remember things about in terms of when you touch raw meat, when you go to the bathroom, when, making sure that you, and recognizing that when you go out to the beach or somewhere else, bring either fresh water so that you can turn around and wash your hands, or else towelettes that you can turn around and wipe your hands and make sure that you can reduce the bacteria. You're right, it's very important for us to make sure that we keep that type of reputation, because you don't want to sort of have someone coming here instead of saying, well, okay, every water I drink has to be bottled water. You want people to feel that the water that you drink in our houses is still adequate.
The Daily Markets Report is unavailable tonight, but we're asking you to stay tuned. We have more news after this break.
On the barbecue, baby back ribs, only $2.99 per pound. Save $3 each on juicy whole seedless watermelons, only $12.99 each. Save $1.25 on Hunt's Ketchup 35-ounce bottle for only $2.19. Catelli macaroni, $1.89 for a 500-gram box. Save $1.10 on 2-liter bottles of regular or Diet Pepsi-Cola soda, only $3.49. All stores open till 10 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
Copyfax is Samsung's authorized dealer service center in Bermuda. If you're looking for a tablet, Copyfax have a range of Samsung's Tab 3, 5 and 7. They have Samsung's ATIV Book, which has a 15.6-inch screen. And the ATIV One computer has a 24-inch touch screen. Be sure you're buying from an authorized Samsung dealer. In Bermuda, it's Copyfax Limited, 96 North Shore Road. They service what they sell.
If you've been the victim of an uninsured or hit-and-run driver, your medical and other expenses may not be covered by your insurance. The good news is, there is coverage. The Motor Insurers Fund can provide you with compensation to help you through the crisis, whether suffering from physical injury, loss of wages, or extra expense incurred as a result of your injuries. For further information about the Motor Insurers Fund, visit mif.bm or call 505-8555. The Motor Insurers Fund, assurance after the unexpected.
Are you paying more than one provider? More than you should? Why? Prepare to be wowed! Voice, long distance, high-speed internet, TV, and HD TV. One package, one stop, one customer care level. Excellent! One bill! Enjoy local and long-distance minutes, TV and HD TV, your choice of internet speed, and so much more. From only $184.99 monthly for everything.
For more information, visit wow.bm or call 292-1969.
Welcome back. Hamilton's Cumberland House is undergoing an energy-saving device that could bode well for savings to current and future Hamilton buildings and private homes. Joel Scott and Leroy Robinson of Noesis Consulting Limited see the whole realm of electrical engineering and analysis for energy-saving design as the way of the future.
What we're doing there is reducing the speed of the motor as needed in the building environment. So by reducing a speed of the motor by 10%, we can achieve probably around 20% to 30% savings in that particular part of the building infrastructure. So to put it in overall scope, when we do a full turnkey solution in a building, we can be looking at 30% reduction in overall energy costs. In dollar figures, an average building might be costing them $60,000 per month at the moment in electricity, okay, at rates of 38 cents per kilowatt hour. We can average that down to around $40,000 to $45,000. So you're looking at $15,000 to $20,000 savings per month. Okay, so that should give you an idea of how beneficial this is. Again, to put that in perspective of payback time, you're probably looking at about a 3 to 3.5 year payback.
Bringing it up to date is important because what we don't do right now is trend and get a complete data of what builders are actually doing. From a day-to-day operation. The benefits are reduced costs, reduced consumption, reduced CO2. It's a broad reduction across the board, and I think everyone that would understand it would embrace it, fully.
Now, the immediate application is to buildings. How could private homes get in on this?
Private homes can get in by simply looking at the home, getting someone to assist them with an audit. We do an audit primarily because we like to know exactly the base loads of the house and how it sleeps and how it wakes up. And we can do this simply by trending the loads. And once we do that and establish where we can go in and make some reductions, we can.
About a month ago, Premier Michael Dunkley stated that having his ministers out on the forefront and engaging with the public more often was definitely a priority. Vsb News Julia Smatt asked Premier Dunkley if he felt this has come to fruition.
I would think we still have some work to do, but ministers are trying to get out there, and I think you'll continue to see improvement in that area, bearing in mind that it's very difficult when you're a minister to get out of the office because there's so much you can be swamped with. But I do think our ministers are certainly understand the need to get out there. And Minister Scott's a prime example. He's at one end of the island to the other. And so we can do better, and we will do better.
Welcome back. Now let's take a look at the sports report with Earl Baisden.
4 medals were won on day 1 of the 20th Caribbean Island Swimming Championships that got underway in Barbados yesterday. National swimming coach Ben Smith has the details.
The very first event for the finals was the 100 backstroke, 13-14. Shannon Hassel lowered her 109 personal best time to a 108, which allowed her to capture the gold medal in the first event for the evening, which started us off with a really exciting night. We followed that with Ethan Daly in the 100 backstroke, where he was able to capture his bronze medal. And then later on in the evening, we had Lisa Blackburn capturing the bronze in the 100 breaststroke, and Julian Fletcher actually captured the silver, but he was moved up to the gold medal because the winner of the event was disqualified at the end of the competition.
FIFA has set up a 3-man electoral committee to supervise the process of what may yet be a bitter and divisive presidency election. The establishment of an ad hoc body includes Bermuda Football Association President Larry Musselin, who is the chairman of FIFA's Appeals Committee. This was disclosed in a recent letter to FIFA members from FIFA's General Secretary, Jerome Velquette. The letter also includes a copy of the electoral regulations. These are intended to ensure transparent and fair elections and thus foster confidence in the election process. Staying with football news, Bermuda will face Australia, Chile, and host United States of America from July 14th through to the 18th. Richard Todd, the Bermuda Football Association National Academy Director, explains just how this all came about.
Yeah, actually it's an invite from the United States Soccer Federation for us to join a 14th tournament that they are having in California. at the U.S.'s training center that will include Australia, Chile, and the United States under 20. I think that they were having difficulty with finalizing the fourth team, so the invitation was extended to us to come over, which we saw and we see as a great opportunity.
The Bermuda Cricket Board and Shivers announced the winner of the weekly Shivers Cricket Sportsman Award for week number 6. It's none other than Donnie Charles from Somerset Bridge. Victoria Esposito presented the award to Paul Ross, who accepted on behalf of Charles.
I'd just like to say congratulations on behalf of Goslings and Shivers and present you with this bottle of Shivers 18 year.
There was a new winner in week 8 of the Argo Re Summer Series Triathlon that took place at the Clearwater Beach last evening, where Byron Reckon arrived at the very last minute and promptly won, clocking a time of 25:41. The leading lady by some distance was the promising Lindsay Palmer. She clocked 28:12. I'm Earl Baisden reporting for VSB Sports.
Outlast any storm with the most advanced alkaline battery. This weather segment is brought to you by Duracell Quantum.
Well, France is out, Colombia is out, but the weekend is in. I'm Jay Parker, and this is your weather. Let's take a look at our weather shots for today. Today's first shot taken by Auto Trot at 12 p.m. over Harrington Sound Road. Just a great shot. Blue skies off in the distance. See the trees growing. It was a pretty good day, and this is a pretty good representation. Our second shot today was taken by Raymond Ray this afternoon at Tucker's Town. You can see them getting ready for the 4th of July festivities. Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day to all American fans, all my friends out there. Thanks to Raymond for sending this in. Our highs and lows, 84 was our high today at 2:45 p.m. and our low was at 4:30 a.m., 77 degrees. Currently we're looking at 80 degrees, humidity is 75%, winds out of the south-southwest at 10 knots and the barometric pressure steady at 30.24 inches. Rainfall index still 0.1 of an inch of rain so far for July, nothing for today. Total for the year, it's set 26.74 inches, way off now. We're moving off of that 27.22 that we'd have normally seen. Take a look at our satellite map. Well, warm, humid air continues to flow into the area from the south, producing generally fair conditions with a passing shower later tonight. Now, a weak boundary will approach the on this weekend with a few showers and a chance of thunder Saturday morning right through into, Saturday evening right through until Sunday morning. Now, Hurricane Arthur, you see it here, is going to continue to move along the way the north to east, along the U.S. coastline and well away from Bermuda. So, good luck for us. Gateway cities, 87 and mostly sunny in Atlanta, mostly sunny and 81 in Boston, Charlotte and mostly sunny and 86, 73 and light rain in London, mostly cloudy and 90 degrees in Miami, mostly sunny and 83 in New York, 93 and mostly cloudy in Orlando, Philadelphia, mostly sunny and 85, 77 and sunny in Toronto, and 84 and mostly sunny in Washington. For tonight, we're looking at a low temperature of around 76, mostly cloudy with a few passing showers, winds out of the south-southwest at 8 to 12 knots. For tomorrow, sunny breaks, a few showers, a chance of thunder overnight, high temperature around 83, winds out of the southwest at 8 to 12 knots. They'll gradually veer and decrease out of the west at 5 to 10 knots overnight. Foreign mariners tonight, no warnings in effect. Seas inside the reef, 1 foot. Seas outside the reef, 2 to 4 feet. Sea temperature, still 81 degrees. For mariners tomorrow, still no warnings in effect. 1 foot inside the reef, outside the reef, 3 to 5 feet. Low tide will be at 8:42 a.m. and 3:10 p.m. is your high tide. Let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. On Saturday, sunny breaks, a few showers, chance of thunder overnight, high of 83. Sunday, a mix of sun and clouds, a morning shower or 2, early thunder, high of 81. Monday, partly to mostly cloudy, high of 82. Tuesday, a mix of sun and clouds with a passing shower, high of 83. And on Wednesday, partly cloudy, high of 83. And our photo winner of the week is today's shot, Auto Trot. Congratulations to you for this great shot of the blue skies and the good day that we had. Just a lovely shot. And he wins dinner for 2. Make sure you send in your shot, and you could be next week's winner. And that's it for me. Thanks to Bermuda Weather Service for all their help. Your bad joke of the weekend is, what do you call a fish with no eyes? Fish. Sorry. Fish. I messed that up. Whatever. Have a good weekend.
Outlast any storm with the most advanced alkaline battery. Today's weather forecast was brought to you by Duracell Quantum.
And to all our American friends, we'd like to wish you a happy 4th of July, and we're wishing for everybody a wonderful weekend. Good night, Bermuda.
Outfit for Che Barker, provided by Alexander at the English Sports Shop.
Vsb TV 11, Bermuda.